Hello everyone, this is another recording, another video session about chapter 18, section 1 I'll cover, and possibly go over chapter 19 also. Our new unit is dealing with interdependence of life or relationships among organisms, or in high school or in upper level colleges as known as ecology. Now, this particular subject went over early in the week rather, was talking about these relationships. We did an analogy, a real-life analogy, about relationships within a school building. We talked about the principal, assistant principals, the students, the counselors, the different various positions in the building, and the roles that you played. How did they relate one to the other? Were they relationships? Were they direct relationships? Were they relationships that were more specific to one particular group of individuals, or did it connect with all? Now, with that analogy, that was a segue into our relationships among organisms, living organisms that is, themselves, one another, and the environment. That's what ecology basically is. We'll cover that particular section this week. So this is a review of chapter 18, section 1, an introduction to chapter 19, also, which goes a bit further in this subject of ecology or the relationships among organisms. Now, in the textbook which I have on the board here, dealing with the first main thing I talked about was everything being connected, how all things connect one to the other. We talked about how one set of species of organisms, remember the term species means what? Species, or definition of a species, is organisms that are able to mate or reproduce fertile offspring of the same kind. And we went over the different organisms and the different species and how they interact with one another and how they interact with other species also. Now here, when he says everything's connected, he's talking about how the alligators related or connected to organisms that are in the, hold on one moment, my textbook seems like went off. I'm going to put it back on real briefly, real quick. There it is, back on. Now, page 480 is what I'm going over right now in the textbook. And what I'm looking at, and we're speaking on here, these terms we learned about, okay? Looking at the, I have a pointer here, my laser pointer, term biotic, abiotic in your textbooks. It said you'll learn about population communities, describe how abiotic parts of the environment affect ecosystems. Now, look here at the definition that we reviewed over here. Studying the web of life. We talked about ecology as a study of interactions of organisms with one another and with their environment. Okay? So the first major term we learned and spoke about was ecology. Let's go further along in the chapter here, in this particular section. Next term, which is right down here, the term abiotic. Okay? The environment itself consists of two main parts. Remember, two main parts of the environment. We have abiotic and biotic parts. Okay? Hold on one moment, please.
Goat. Turkey. Pig.
Okay, I'm back here. Now, as I was speaking here, you have the biotic parts. Remember I said about first semester, there are two words we learned about. When we first introduced living things, what life science, what this whole course is about, living things, okay, life science. Bio, the term bio means biotic. Bio, biotic means life, right? So, the biotic parts here, okay, talking about the living parts of the bio. Remember we did living and non-living things in first semester when we talked about cells and living things, okay? We did a separation of understanding that you had already, knew already, about what living things, the characteristics of those, and non-living things, and environment was. And we divided those up. So in this particular unit here, the final unit, summation unit for this particular school year, okay, we talked about the term biotic and abiotic. Remember the difference? We said biotic means living, just like you learned first semester, and abiotic means non-living. It's two simple terms that replace what you already know, what we already discovered, we already went over in the first semester, all right? Now, the various biotic things could be the trees, could be animals, could be insects, could be bacteria. We just went over the kingdoms and classification unit. We know all about those things, right? The living or abiotic parts. Of course, we're talking about water, soil, air, things that